Hello, Dr. D, i.e.
Hello,
Dr. Maria
Dr.
Johnson.
Elisa.
Hello. We're talking to her all the way in Switzerland. What time is it there?
Here is 18:02 to 6 o'clock at night.
Okay, all right. All right, well, I won't keep you from your dinner that long, but you did an amazing job on my natal chart, and then I just got through in the nick of time reading the medical analogy, the medical chart, because you are a medical astrologist. What would you like to say first?
Well, it was a big struggle because I said it before when we spoke last time. I have to make them from scratch. There is no software that gives me the possibility, to even give perhaps a hint, but a diagnosis, it's only me.
Yes.
Okay? Because I'm a doctor. I know how it works.
Of course, you have not examined me or taken my history, so that makes it even more of a challenge. But I always am a troublemaker. What can I say?
Well, when I saw your chart, I said, Elisa's anyway. We always start from the ascendant, the sun, and the moon. And the ascendant is our physical body, okay? That is very, very important. From there on, I said, okay, ascendant, Capricorn, great. She will have problems with cold. She will have problems with teeth. Saturn is the ruler of Capricorn. But it takes long until you get sick. But when you get sick, it takes also a little bit long to recover.
I saw that. But I really do have a really good immune system, and maybe that's because I've been around patients so long. I mean, that could alter things too, I guess. I don't know. But I found so many things were accurate. For example, the whole thing about the liver, I was stabbed in the ER, a list of all this, put that right down where I was almost killed by a serial killer, I swear. Sometimes so many things go wrong that my husband and I laugh and say, what's next, locust? But, we take it all in good stride. But anyway, so a guy, I was putting a central line in a patient who was comatose in the ER. And this was when I was an intern, in my intern residency program for internal medicine. And, I had ordered them to give him some Narcan. So, of course, he came to, but little did I know he'd become combative. So he grabbed it away from me and stabbed me with it. And I developed hepatitis C. And we didn't know about hepatitis C. It was just non-A, non-B. So, so there's that liver thing.
Yeah, the liver is predominant actually in your natal chart. It shows already predisposition. It's not that you will get it. It's what I sometimes want to let understand people. It's not because it's in a chart that it will happen. Or, people say, my grandmother, she had it, but you're not your great-grandmother. It's you.
Yeah.
So you have it. You might have it, but it's not said that it will tomorrow come and say, I have now that sort of illness. It's not like that. But you have already a predisposition in your chart, in your natal chart with the liver.
Yeah. So that doesn't mean I'll have problems. I already had it, but I'm cured from that. I have 0 viral count, but it means I better watch out because I'm vulnerable. And it's interesting because right after Erik died, my husband and I started having 2 glasses of red wine every day. Yeah. And now, of course, when I was on treatment for hepatitis C, I didn't drink at all, and we didn't drink very much at all. But yeah, so that's something to consider.
Yes, with the liver and also the immune systems, especially nowadays, and Elisa, you know it yourself. I mean, immune system, we have to boost it as much as possible. It's the best doctor. In medical astrology, actually, Mars is the doctor because he pushes everything, positive or negative.
Yeah.
But also the flow of blood. Mars is associated also with the blood, but not only, okay? Very assertive, you can get very high fever, inflammations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
And go ahead.
because I couldn't visit you physically, doing the anamnesis, of course, and assessment is very difficult because I had no clue. I was like blind. Help, mayday,
Yes.
mayday.
I know, it's like
So,
telemedicine.
yes. So, but finally I got into your chart. I said, okay, I must look it from another point of view. Take distance, because if you're too fixated, you won't find any answer. It's not possible.
Oh
So I
yeah.
really got fixated. And what also with Uranus, because your head is, or your brain is always stimulated. Um, Uranus is also a very important planet in your chart,
Okay.
because they are together. Jupiter and Uranus, they make a so-called conjunction.
Hmm.
And that can be also explosive, out of the blue, sudden, really sudden, like you got this hepatitis, was sudden.
Yeah.
That was a transit over your natal planet that triggered that
Yeah.
hepatitis.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I had hepatitis too at the time.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Great, super.
Oh my
How
God.
long did you have it for, Elisa?
Well, I didn't really know until, I checked my just annual lab. I never went to the doctor, of
Oh,
course, typical.
you
And I
didn't
found
have
my
any symptoms.
transaminases were a little bit elevated. So then,
Okay,
so I
okay.
was probably in my 30s, maybe. But anyway, here also you say afflicted organs, liver, most prominently spleen, and also um, gallbladder and blood. Well, when I was 16, 16-ish,
Mm-hmm.
I developed idiopathic thrombocytopenia purpura. My platelet count was like 2,000. There's the blood thing. So my
Okay.
father actually did a splenectomy, took out my spleen. So I don't have a spleen anymore. So I thought that was kind of interesting, you know? And
But
also the thing about,
it is showing, for the chart, doesn't matter if you have it still or if it's already outside. And don't forget, the body has memory. Even if you take out the uterus in a woman,
yes,
the body still has memory that there was an uterus.
yeah, of course. It's all energy and it's energy imprint there, right?
Exactly. When I work with scalar waves, I had a woman, she had the gallbladder actually out,
Okay.
but the body still recognizes that there was a gallbladder.
How
And
did it
it's showing
respond?
me, yeah, it does respond
No, in what
still.
way? Did she have symptoms of gallbladder disease still, or?
She had very little symptoms, but the gallbladder was out,
Okay.
and the machine showed me, even if the gallbladder was taken out, still memory of the gallbladder.
Yeah. So with me, without a spleen, what kind of memory of a spleen, what would that produce in the way of symptoms or anything?
The spleen, usually you don't really feel symptoms because it doesn't hurt
Yeah.
in that sense.
But maybe it means since it's an immune system organ,
Yes,
maybe it would have the memory of a spleen would have an effect on my immune system, maybe.
on the immune system, because it's part of the immune system.
Also, you said here somewhere about, you mentioned high fever. I had a febrile seizure when I was a kid, and you mentioned seizures, propensity for seizures too. So that's kind of cool.
And especially sudden seizures.
Yes. Yeah.
They come out of the blue.
Yeah.
And that is Uranus. The planet Uranus is like, the lightning and sudden, and
Oh,
okay, it's
okay.
fine.
That's,
So,
that's interesting.
but
I don't
seizures,
like Uranus.
he is crazy. He's
That's
a
crazy.
little bit banana.
Yeah, I think he's going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Also, you talked about how, what was it? Balance, harmony, emotions, moon, amygdala, brain, energy
Yes,
system. and all that. And you know, you talked about the PTSD and shock and dysfunctional family, which is, of course, you know, true in my case. I had a very difficult, traumatic, um, dysfunctional family environment that I still am grateful for, actually. But that's a long story. Yeah, so that's cool. So tell me
But
about that.
the thing is, Elisa, with the moon is very important because it's actually not even a planet if we want to take it correctly. But
Yes.
most astrologers, and that makes me a little bit angry, they attribute that depression, for example, or anything that is emotional just with the moon. That is not correct. Why did I mention amygdala? Amygdala is steering our emotion.
Right.
Amygdala is steering as well sexual behavior and stuff like that. Then we have to consider as well hormonal imbalance.
Hmm.
There you get also involved, but there is Pluto,
Okay.
the bad guy. Well, he's not the bad guy, but you have to look in endocrinology. It's not just, okay, we are happy and we give the moon always. It's not only the moon. I got angry recently. A friend of mine, she asked an astrologer if she could, even if it's not allowed, to talk about health. And she said, your sixth house is empty. Yeah, you will never get anything. It's not true.
Oh,
That is that is not serious. The sixth house usually is the house of health. But you
okay.
have to look. The one that is in front, that means 12, who is the ruler of ascendant of the sixth house, and what are the aspects among each
Yeah.
other. So it's so complicated. And when people say just
Yeah, I
something,
mean, look, God, that's complicated.
yes. Actually, the red lines, Elisa, there
Yes?
are challenges.
Oh,
That
gosh.
of oppositions and
Oh, yeah.
squares.
I'll show that for people to see here.
Yes, it's a little bit, it's quite a little bit of a character
I know.
also.
That's what they say about me. What about the red lines and the blue lines? You want to talk about those?
The, the red lines are the challenges. So that means
Oh, I thought
opposition is
gray lines.
180 degrees.
Oh, I got it. Okay, yeah.
And okay, the gray, they are neutral. The blue are okay. That means it's a sextile, semi-sextile. They don't, or trigon. They don't hurt each other. They're
Okay.
harmonious. But it's
Oh,
so to take all planets, the houses, what angles do they talk to each other? Is this a opposition?
yeah.
Opposition is always a challenge all the
Yeah.
time. So you have that really, it's even 90 degrees. 90 degrees can be also a bigger challenge than the opposition. So
Okay, yeah, I see that. Well, in the blue, I see a 90-degree angle, right?
the blue are 60 degrees.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha.
Not 60, 60. 60 is harmonious. It's fine. Doesn't hurt anybody. Sometimes they're perhaps a little bit lazy. When we have a 120 and a 60 degrees,
Hmm.
we might get okay, a little bit lazy. The others are challenging. They're pushing us also.
Oh, okay. Now,
Very much so.
we talked about adult trauma. Now, what about that when I was a third year resident in Galveston? I uh, was on the beach. I'd been on call for a long time, reading a book, and this guy comes toward me, and I felt like he's going to kill me. I just
Oh my
knew,
God.
knew. So he walks up to me and starts massaging my legs and talks about my cellulite, which I think is really rude, even for a serial killer. But anyway, so he was about to strangle me, but then he stopped And he asked, "What do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm a physician and I'm a black belt karate instructor." Of course, I'm not. Anyway, so he moved away. And 2 years later, there he is on the news, the Killing Fields serial killer, who killed a bunch of people and dumped their bodies in the Texas City, just as, I don't know,
That is really sick.
swamp. So
It's
is that
absolutely sick.
somewhere?
Also, any possible trauma, you are a person that you're reacting, okay? You are not putting yourself in a corner and saying, well, poor me,
No.
and you're not that way. But many people are that way. They get, depressed, anxiety, self-commiseration. You're not that type of person. So you
Yeah.
are reacting.
Yeah.
And that
No, I mean,
helps you.
yeah, I mean, I process through stuff like I did processing through my childhood trauma and all that, and trying to pick out the little gold nuggets of value, which there always is, you know. And my value about the serial killer near miss, God, I escaped, man. I don't know who made me say, you know, I was very calm. It's like some other entity was protecting me and telling me subliminally
Your
what to say.
angels,
Must
your
be,
angels
man.
were protecting you, believe me, because I had also not as you had it. I mean, this is really extreme. I had also, but each one of us has scars on the skin, the ones that you can see, but the ones that are inside, those ones are really that you have to work on it. And
And
it's
that is up
not
to us. But
exactly. I
right.
can give you a tip. I can give you some, I don't know, what you could do or should do, but it's up to you if you want to, how shall I say, to react. We have the problem, fine. We have recognized the problem, carry on.
Right.
It's not point to dwell in there.
Yeah.
What
I
if
mean, you
you
know, just be in the now. Being in the past is just having anxiety about, you know, what was, and dwelling in the future is like having apprehension about what could happen. But here's the guy.
oh my God,
He's in prison now in Galveston.
I hope for a lifelong.
Oh, I'm sure.
Mm.
God, I'll visit him one day.
That is really sick. I have been watching, medical detectives and stuff like that because I love it.
Oh yeah,
But
me too.
they are
I love
so,
the ones where you can diagnose it, and it's like I'm like, he's got that, and my husband's like, what? And then, yeah, he's got just these obscure diseases, especially because I get this stuff channeled to. It's not like I'm a real brilliant doctor. It's just like for some reason somebody channels things to me when I'm
mhm.
diagnosing people. So
I know what you're talking about because I have, obviously you use the logic, but it happens very often that I just look at the person and say, okay, I think that we got the problem.
yeah, you
And
feel it, don't
yes,
you?
you
You feel it.
feel it, you feel it. It's not just logic. I can't express it. I mean, it's very difficult to say. People say, okay, you're bananas anyway. Okay, then I'm bananas, but I really can feel what it is. I
Yes.
don't know how.
Yeah.
It's no logic behind it. I can't even prove it to you on paper, black and white.
Yeah.
It is like that.
Yeah, and unfortunately now medicine is all about following algorithms instead of your heart. But all right, so let's get back to this medical astrology. Can our angels, our guardian angels, our guides, well, not our guides, whatever, change the course of things? Like if you're destined to get cirrhosis, well, if you're vulnerable to developing that, can they intervene just like they did for me on the beach that weird day?
If you're connected to, yes, Elisa, but it's you yourself. Don't forget we are God's particle ourselves.
That's true. We're a whole and part of
Okay?
God. Yeah.
So we have our instinct that pushes us, but you don't know why.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's us. If you obviously pray, it's up to you. But if you talk every day to your guardian angels or whomever, I guess they help us too.
Yeah.
All
It's
of
true.
them,
Yeah.
the entire universe.
Yes.
That is my opinion.
I agree too. I used to ask,
It doesn't
and
sound very logic as a
no,
medical doctor,
no. But
but
and just have the intent that I am well. The law of attraction,
yes,
manifesting health for yourself too is very important. So,
yes,
so that said, you can see where you're with the medical chart here that you have these vulnerabilities, maybe at
yes.
certain points of your life, but you can overcome them by manifestation, by prayer, by all that stuff, right?
Whatever, it's up to you.
Yeah.
What you feel because I wrote in the article last year, Elisa, if you can remember, humanity has forgotten to heal itself. They don't
Yeah.
listen
Yeah.
to their own body anymore. So what is that?
Or their heart.
No, really, it's a pity because I am not a healer. I
Yeah,
can tell you what you could do, but I'm not healing you. You heal yourself. I
that's
just
right.
show you like a mirror. Say, look, this is your chart. These are your problems. Do something. I cannot do it for you. I just can show you. We are like conduits. We show people.
Right. So yes, in my in this, you work
Their
so hard
body.
on it. You work so hard on it, but you did give some prescriptives like lecithin, uh B6,
Very
what
important, B6.
inositol, choline, pangamic acid. I don't even know what that is. What is that?
Pangamic acid is a new vitamin. And
Oh, really?
yes, and that explain what is correlated to Jupiter and what it does. Also choline, inositol, B6, B1. B6 is actually goes straight to the brain
Yeah.
and is causing, that serotonin gets spread out in the not only in the brain, but it's very very important. B6, vitamin B6. When people are also depressed, I usually also give vitamin B6. Actually, the entire program of the vitamin B1 to B6 because that is important for our nerves
Yeah.
and especially the brain.
Yeah. I'm gonna
B12
look up that.
also is essential. B12. Most people don't have enough
Yeah.
B12.
But it's not absorbed well, unless you have plenty of,
I know.
parietal cells with that secrete the intrinsic factor that grabs onto
Yes,
it, but
yes.
and takes it to the bloodstream. So you can do it sublingually, if not by injection.
It's better sublingual because it goes straight into the bloodstream.
Right, and you also talk about uh, oh, oh yeah, biotin, right?
Biotin, biotin too.
But a lot of people take multiminerals and vitamins like Centrum, Silver, etc., but they probably do not. Well, first of all, they might not be very bioavailable. You know. Um,
This is one thing, but also I get like a heart attack when I see products sold magnesium and calcium together.
oh
They
yeah, Mad Cow. Yeah, yeah. I mean
they
Cow
hate
Mag.
each
Yeah.
other.
Oh
They hate
wow.
each other. They annihilate one another in chemistry anyway. So either you take first magnesium, 5 hours later you take calcium, and calcium you mix with vitamin D, not with magnesium,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
or vitamin C with zinc.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay, so the mixture is important, and not this how you call them, where everything is in there, but nothing
Yeah.
works at the end.
I know. Yeah.
It's money out the window.
Is it better to take liquid form of these things?
Liquid,
Liquid
liquid,
or gel
yes.
cap? gel, liquid gel? Gels
Liquid
work?
gel
Okay.
or liquid as such with the pipettes,
Yes.
sublingual is the best because
Okay.
yourself when you take it as a pill, the wait's much longer because it goes first into the stomach, then the
Yeah.
liver. So it's a little bit a headache. If we take it liquid, it goes into the bloodstream.
Exactly. So, what product brand do you recommend? Do you have your own line of these things? Is
I
liquid?
have my own line, but obviously vitamins I cannot produce myself. That is impossible.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
That is, I mean, it's ridiculous. In the States, you have a brand. It's called wait a second, Puritan's Pride
Okay.
is one of them, and the other one I don't remember, which are good products, very high in dosage. That is important because if you only take, very little ones,
Yeah,
give a shock to the body until it absorbs everything and what it doesn't need.
yeah,
The liver is anyway memorizing it.
yeah. Do you recommend so let's say somebody asks you to do their medical chart or natal chart, both, etc.
Okay.
Uh, and you give them a prescriptive. Here's what you need to do. Plus, you need to heal yourself in other ways. But do you recommend that they go through some sort of detox program first?
All the time. That is
Okay.
also very important, Elisa. You cannot stuff the body all the time. You must give uh, at least twice a year. You should detox your body.
How?
And
What's the
from
best
there on,
way?
yes. And then the toxins, they get flushed out. And in the meantime, you can do the immunotherapy because that is very important. Every day you have to look. It's the well-being of the entire, not body only, but
Yeah.
what is about mental, psychological. What do you feel?
Yeah.
Because obviously the body is responding. If I
Yeah.
feel always sad or miserable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Also, twice a year if possible, detox, and at the same time boost up the immune system.
All right. What detox do you? What kind of detox? And is that something you have on your site too? What method of detox?
Depends on the patient.
Ah.
Depends on the patient. I cannot be very aggressive on some individuals,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I have to do steps by step, very slow.
So for me, you would probably recommend. Oh, we
I have
froze. Yeah.
patients. If I have patients with diabetes, I have to be careful
Yeah.
with it. I mean, it's not that easy, uh, but step by step, it might take longer.
Yeah.
But at the end, they get there. It's not important, well, you have to do it in 1 month. It's up to you, first of all, but also your constitution, physical constitution.
Oh, absolutely. So
That is,
what detox would you recommend for me? Liver
for
detox?
you, I wrote that you have to be careful with carbohydrate.
Okay. Oh
Not
yeah,
to,
I don't do very much of that. Yeah.
then you have to be careful with fat, which sort of fat that you're eating.
Okay.
Okay, it's better that you grill something. Don't
Exactly. I
don't take
don't.
anything fried.
Right.
If possible, olive oil,
Yeah.
aged stuff like that. That is fine, but nothing that is rancid to acid.
Oh yeah. So and ion alkalinizing drops, that's a form of detox that you put 6 drops of this something called ion to in
Mm-hmm.
water or whatever. Uh,
I know what you're talking about.
all right.
Also, people laugh at me when I tell them drink distilled water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't take any tap water, for God's sake.
Yeah. No. No.
You don't know what is in that water. I don't drink it. Even if they say here, well, we have good water, We have a lot of calcium in
Oh,
because it's
yeah.
really hard
And
water.
fluoride, you know, and
Exactly.
chlorine, you know, no, I don't
And
either.
name it, name
Yeah,
it.
we put
So
ours through filters and this two big tank matrix of, you know, uh, to condition the water, but no, not a salt conditioner. All right, so let's say somebody comes up to you. Okay, let's use me as example. You
yeah.
did my charts. You recommend certain things, minerals, vitamins, and a certain type of detox, and what to avoid. Um, where would I go? What is the site I would go to get some of the things you recommended?
Well, I said in the States, I don't know.
Oh, but for you,
Uh,
your stuff, do you have a site?
well, I am. I hope that my webpage is all finished by May because I'm working still on the construction.
Oh,
They
yeah.
can
Okay. Well,
con-
let us know. Yeah.
they can contact me and I because I make them myself. I work with compounds.
Oh,
I
good.
make tinctures, but it's not without alcohol because I give it even to my dog
Oh, yeah.
and to
Awesome.
babies,
Yeah.
and then salve or creams depending
Yes.
on what they need. But
That's
I will
awesome.
always the immune system is the best doctor. We must look. I forget it too. I tell to others what they should do, or
Well, we're doctors. You know how we are.
and I
Physician
don't
heal
do it
thyself.
myself.
Yeah. 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 So, um, so
I'm not perfect.
so they can't. So if anybody wants to start what you've done for me and get the prescriptives and all that stuff, then they can contact you at geoforce at zoho.com, and I will definitely put that toward the end, or hopefully I'll remember it here. All right, so then let's say they do all that, detox, blah blah blah, all your stuff. What else do they need to do to heal themselves? We talked about manifestation, law of attraction, praying. Anything else?
Go outside. Have if you have a
Yes.
pet your dog, whatever.
Raise your vibration, right?
Yes, because people also have forgotten, Elisa, to feel.
Yeah.
It's not only feeling inside, feeling with your hands,
Yeah.
enjoy nature,
Right.
uh, and also accept us the way that you are.
Yeah.
Okay, we are not perfect, none of us. I don't know anybody that is perfect.
Mm-mm.
Stop also judging always yourself.
Or
Oh,
others. Or
I have done
others.
this wrong. I have done
Yeah.
that. So it's not helping. We
No.
are worth, all of us.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how, but each one of us. Uh, I'm not worthy, and I didn't get love. Stop with all of that. Stop it. You are good the way that you are right now.
Right. We are all perfect. I
Yes,
mean, how can we not be? We're whole and part of God. You know, like we
but
use the whole, remember in the 70s they had the little pendants made of glass with leather strap, and it has a skull, hologram skull. If you were to
mhm,
smash that and examine each shard under a microscope,
okay.
there would be a whole skull image on each. So that's how we are, God, and each of us are whole and part of God, like a
Yeah,
hologram.
yes, exactly. So do things that you enjoy to do, especially now with the coronavirus. I
Right.
mean, we all shut down and blah blah. Enjoy it. Stay at
Yeah.
home. Do whatever you didn't do since ages that
Yeah.
you couldn't do because you were working all the time.
Yeah, listen to your favorite music, dance in the living room, just anything you can
Enjoy
do.
life.
And
Enjoy
listen to your
yourself.
heart. I mean, Erik always says we are emotional beings. We're supposed to feel, and unfortunately, what we do is we think of a thought, we let that evoke an emotion, and we let that
Yeah.
emotion create a choice. We should do the opposite. We should get in touch with our feelings, feel first, and then let that produce a thought, and let that thought help you make a decision.
but it's always you. It starts inside of you. Nobody,
Exactly.
Elisa, can
Yeah.
do anything. I mean, I can prescribe such a list, but it's you.
I
You know it
know.
yourself.
Yeah.
You have patients that they come, can you do this and this? It's yourself. I can tell you what you could do to
Yeah.
change everything, but
Right.
it's yourself. I cannot do it for you.
Yeah. Take
It's
back your power, people.
we are
Don't give it away.
responsible. Yes,
Yes, we have all the power we need
and be
inside. We don't
responsible.
need to get it from anybody else. And yes, be responsible. Be emotionally honest with yourself too, and set
But
boundaries
most
for
people can't
yourself.
do that.
It's so much a relief. It's actually so much easier than not doing it once you get the hang of it. You know?
The problem is most people depend on also how they grew up.
Yes.
If they
Yeah.
were in a religious
Yeah.
family, or that makes also a big difference.
Yeah.
Because then it's always, if
Yeah.
God wills, no. You have to want it.
It's your
God,
will. Okay,
God wants
remember, you
that you
are
are
God. You are
that
God.
you're healthy. God wants that you feel good. So
Yes.
don't, there are so many aspects.
Yeah. So overcome the tight, influential grip
Elisa,
of your up. Huh? Can you
you
hear
were
me?
frozen.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Overcome the tight grip of influence that your past, whether it's from parents, siblings, teachers, the media, whatever,
Everything.
that have on you. You can do it. Just take the little claws off of you and be you. Be
Yes,
you and own it. That's what my daughter says on her blogs at the end almost every time. Be you and own it.
yes.
Period.
Be just responsible for yourself, for your health, for whatever you do. If people like it or don't like it, is up to them. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not a people pleaser. I have patients, sometimes they make me angry because I tell them what it is. I don't
Yeah.
tell them what they would like to hear.
No,
It
of
doesn't
course
make
not.
any sense.
No.
It's not honest, it's not professional, and it,
No.
it doesn't help anybody. So
No, you're
I
the real
tell you,
deal. You're the real deal. And we have a lot of similarities, you and I. It's kind of
yes,
cool. You
yes,
said you wanted to be organized and stuff. You like order. Me too. I
I
love it.
love that. I can't, if I have to, when I did your chart, obviously I had to write down where do I start, because this is really the short stuff that you have there. What is
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
about 8 pages?
Mm.
I could make it much longer, but
I'm glad you didn't. Oh my God, to distill it. Oh, dumb it down for me. Yay.
yeah, but read it when you have, a
I'll read it.
quiet
I'll read it
moment,
again. Yeah.
because when you read it the first time, sometimes you say, doesn't make perhaps any sense. Read it twice or 3 times. So
I
I
agree.
like everything that is uh, in order. I have to be organized, but that is also, I have to admit it. I live in Switzerland, and we are very
They
organized.
like order there. Isn't that interesting, isn't it? Well, is
Also,
there
the
any?
time, if I tell you at 6 o'clock, that I mean at 6 o'clock, or even
Yeah.
I will be there sooner and not at 10 past, Obviously, if something happens, it's different.
Right.
And but normally we are a little bit perhaps stubborn. People say they are cold. I'm still Italian, even if I can
There
stay
we
here,
go. Yeah.
live here 150 years. I'm always Italian.
Oh yeah.
But you have obviously some traits
Yeah.
from the country you live in. And
Yeah. And the country of Texas. We used to be our own country, so I'm still like Lone Star is the National Bureau of Texas. Anyway, is there anything else you want to do before we close? And yeah, anything else?
I would like to tell people to take themselves serious.
Yeah.
That is very important.
Yeah. Love
Take the
yourself.
power back.
It's good.
Love yourself.
Yep. Because you're
Accept the
worth it.
way you are.
Yeah.
And then from there on, enjoy life.
Yeah.
Regardless if we have corona or anything else, don't let it affect you.
Exactly. Hey,
I know
don't be
people say,
afraid. We're eternal beings. What's the worst that can happen? Okay.
doesn't bring anything, Elisa, to be worried all the time and stop.
I know.
This could happen. Don't,
Yeah.
because you make yourself sick. The body is
Exactly.
responding. The body says,
Yes.
okay, you want more? I will give you more. No
Exactly.
problem.
Exactly.
Isn't it? I mean, you
Oh,
as a doctor, you can, it's not that I'm saying BS or bullshit, put it that way, because it's really a fact. The
yes.
body is
Yeah.
responding.
Exactly. It's your higher self. When you have a disease, it's your higher self telling you that something ain't right. Something is not in alignment. Like some people say that people get diabetes because they're unable to digest the joy in life in some cases. Or some people have myopia, nearsightedness, because they take life for granted. So there's all sorts of spiritual basis for different diseases.
Yes,
All right. Well, thank
absolutely.
you. Thank you
In
so
that,
much for this, Maria.
thank you too, Alisa. If you have questions, contact me. I hope that it really helped some, because it wasn't easy to figure it out, the
I'm
medical
so
part.
grateful the time you spent on it. Thank you. And you guys, check her out. Give her an email. Tell her what your needs are at geoforce at zoho.com, which I put right here. Thanks, Maria. Bye.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.